Superman Super Site here with Smallville stars Cassidy Freeman and John Glover here at the 2012 Superman Celebration in Metropolis. And of course, first question I want to ask you is just about your experiences on Smallville and just some of your great memories about being on the show.
One of my greatest memories was getting to meet my dad.
That's big.
It was. They asked me in an interview, I think Comic-Con in season 9, if I could work with one Smallville alum that wasn't currently on the show, who would it be? And I said John Glover. So you probably didn't see that interview.
I didn't.
But yeah, I said that you were the dream that I wanted to work with, and then they brought you back.
What was it about me that was so dreamy?
It's on camera now.
Yeah.
That you're such a talented actor.
Oh, thank you.
And that you've done a lot of stage work, which is where I started, and I looked up to you until I met you, and now.
Shucks.
No, but I wanted to work with you.
Yeah.
So it happened. So that was my kind of.
Yeah, it was very interesting to be, because I thought I was gone,
Mm-hmm.
So they called me to ask if I would do these 4 episodes in season 10. Which I said, well, how?
Right.
I mean, I'm dead. I
After you fall
my
out of
body
the window.
landed
Yeah.
on a sidewalk and was. And so they said, oh well, we've got an alternate universe or something.
Right.
Was that all it was for?
Just 4.
Wow.
Yeah.
Felt like one thing.
Because it was so spread out.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Now, for both of y'all, your characters, of course, evolved during the series. I mean, your character, of course, went from basically being kind of more of a, I don't want to really say the word evil, but
Yeah,
character,
yeah.
to becoming more of a character that everybody was rooting for and kind of more on the side of good.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, yours also, went from being bad to good, and then when they brought you back, of course, you were bad again. So I was just wondering, for both of you, did you like playing the characters more in the villain side or more on the good, straight arrow side?
Well, in the first 7 years, they basically were writing one thing, and I was sort of playing another. And then when I came back in the 10, they just wrote pure evil.
Mm-hmm.
But that was not as interesting to me as what they had written before, that I added a reason for. It was my love for Lex that made me do what I had to do. And within that first 7 years, there was a point where the writers, I think, realized what it was and tried to change me into good, into a thing for, it was when I was in jail, in
Right.
prison,
Right.
which didn't work at all, which just wasn't really interesting, and then they stopped and went back to sort of, dealt with the Martha thing, and that was interesting, how she was kind of making Lionel, because of Martha, Lionel was feeling something about humanity.
Mm-hmm.
So it had more, it seemed truer. So we would kind of bounce around, I found, the way that with Lionel.
I felt that Tess wasn't that different. I never knew she always had reasons behind what she did.
Right.
And there were reasons why she was cold and calculated at the beginning. And there are reasons why that changed later. And I liked redeeming her, because along with her redemption came this sense of conflict that she had felt bad and unworthy of her own change, which I think is a pretty complex and fun thing to play around with.
And right now, they've kind of brought back Smallville, in comic book form. This is what they're referring to as the 11th season. Has there been any outreach to either one of y'all for your characters because obviously dying never lasts forever, on the show. So has there been any outreach for y'all to come back in the comic book form for the season 11 that's currently out?
Someone brought in the comic book and I'm in it.
Oh, really? Okay.
So there's one page of me, which I was surprised about. I got very emotional. So very disappointing. But no, I haven't been approached at all.
I didn't know there was a comic book.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good morning! You obviously don't tweet.
No, I don't.
So the fans were so wanting the series to continue, so they got enough support so that
They made a comic book
continued.
season.
Yeah.
Who's the
Isn't
they?
that cool? I don't know, who's the vet?
Do you know who's making it, who's doing it?
It's, well, of course, DC Comics, having the first and foremost input into it, but it's continuing with the writers and that were still a part of the show when it was on the air.
So it's Smallville writers?
Yes. So-
Do you know which ones?
Not right off the top of my head,
Oh,
I sure
okay.
don't. There were so many writers over the course of all the seasons.
Weren't there?
Yeah.
Yeah. And of course, they've got more of a Metropolis, could be the title of it now, because it's all with Clark still flying around as Superman and everything.
Uh-huh.
And it's actually taking place years after, the last episode of the series or
I
something.
see.
Sort of the flash forward.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Huh.
Yeah, no.
Not quite as flash forward as they did in the episode.
Gotcha.
With Chloe reading to her son, but
Right.
in between.
What was that?
Chloe's son.
She did?
Yeah.
Who was the father?
Oliver.
I'm just throwing all types of new information for you.
It was a flash forward at the end of the finale.
Was it? I
Yeah.
never
You
thought-
stopped reading once you died, for the second time.
Yeah, oh, there was no reason to read part two. Well, they had such trouble writing it.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was cute, it was pretty.
Was it?
Yeah. It's good.
And she was actually reading the Superman comic book to him. So
Oh.
it was really cool how they did it.
Yeah.
What was his name?
I don't know if he had a name.
They never said.
You should call Allison and ask her.
I will.
I bet you will.
Okay, we'll do it right now. Okay.
Current projects, what do y'all have in the works right now for what you're working on?
Cass is doing a series. I just closed in a play on Broadway, production of The Death of a Salesman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I have a series on A&E called Longmire
Okay.
that just premiered last weekend to like 4.1 million people.
Oh, okay.
So it's doing pretty well.
Good.
It's on Sunday nights.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I appreciate y'all taking the time for the interview.
Sure.
Yeah.
Pleasure.
Hope you have a great time here for the rest of the celebration. Like I said, I know you can't actually go out because you get mobbed, but I've heard from the autograph sessions earlier today, everybody's just been so excited to meet both of you.
Well, that's great to hear.
It's
Yeah.
just awesome to have you joining the Smallville alumni that have been here prior. I mean,
Mhm.
Michael's been here, Allison's been here. So, good.
Good.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Wonderful to meet you.